Hey, boys and girls, happy Friday. Today we are going to be working on comparing decimals. So let's take a look. Now, I know you don't have this at home, but that's okay. Just follow along with me, and I hope you have a notebook nearby so you can do the work when I do it on the whiteboard. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So it says the city park covers 64 hundredths square mile. About 18 hundredths of the park is covered by water, and about 2/10 of the park is covered by paved walkways. Is more of the park covered by water or paved walkways? Okay, so we have a city park, and that covers 64 square miles. So the whole park is 64 square miles. About 18 tenths or hundredths of the park is covered by water, and about 2/10 of the park is covered by paved walkways. Is more, so this is what they're asking us, is more of the park covered by paved water or paved walkways? Okay, is more of the park covered by water or paved walkways? Now, we have information here that we don't need. Do we need to know how much of the whole park there is? No. So I'm going to cross that out. We don't really need to know that the park covers 64 square miles. That's just some extra information. We do need to know what's covered by water, which is 18 hundredths. And we do need to know that 2/10 is covered by the paved walkways. Now, one way that we can compare these two, because they want to know which one is more the park is more of the park covered by water or paved walkways. So they want to know which decimal, pretty much is what they're asking, is greater. Okay, so in the back behind me, I made one way, and I made my hundredths, and I made my tenths. Now we're going to compare the water, which was 18 hundredths, and the paved walkways, which was 2/10. Okay. Now, one way we can do this is by using a model and shading. So if you look here, we have 18. So we're going to do, that's 10, right? And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's how much is covered in water. Okay. And then 2/10, I will shade it. Looks like it's more. Okay, is the paved walkway. I'll just say paved walk for quick. So which covers more ground, the water or the paved walkway? The paved walkway. So 18 hundredths is less than 2/10. And you can think about it, because when we were finding, you can even think 2/10, right? If I was doing it as a fraction, 2/10. If I was changing it into hundredths, what 18 is in, it would be 20. And I could always just add in a 0 at the end too. But the reason, why you could see that is because of the shaded pieces. Okay. Just so you could see that. Let's try another way that you could do it is with a number line. And I'm going to have to draw that. So hold on one second. Okay, so the other way that we could see this is, and we're still talking 18 hundredths and the 2/10, which we just figured out before, that if I had 2/10 and I changed it over to hundredths, we know that 20 hundredths and 2/10 are equivalent. And how I would write that would be 20 hundredths. Okay, so here's 20 hundredths on my number line. 18 hundredths would be closer to 0. So I'll be like 19, 18. So we have 18 hundredths here, and here we have our 20 hundredths. So we can see, it's right in the light. So we can see that 20 hundredths or 2/10 is greater than 18 hundredths. Okay, let's take a look at this one. It says place value. So you can compare numbers written as decimals by using place value. Comparing decimals is like comparing whole numbers. Always compare the digit that in the greatest place value first. So remember when we've talked about the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Okay, I want you to remember that. Okay, here we have a question. It says Tim has 5/10. Okay, so it's in the tenths place, the five. Five, that's why I say 5/10 dollar. And Sienna has 5/100 dollar. Who has more money? So we can use a model, and I drew it behind me. Okay, so here is Tim. Okay, and here is Sienna. S-I. Okay, here's Sienna, and here's Tim. Tim had 5/10. Okay, I'll draw it down here. 5/10. Okay, and Sienna had 5/100. Okay, so I'm going to shade Tim's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10, and I'm going to shade Sienna's 5/100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, we could see who had more money, which would have been Tim. Okay, that's using a model. Now, look at the size of just 1/10 and 1/100th, right? 1/100th is a really tiny piece. And think about it when I said, because fractions and decimals are the same. If here I have is 5/10, and here I have 5/100. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the pieces get, right? So we can tell that Tim has more because 5/10 is greater than 5/100. We can also use the place value chart. So here I have, first I'll do Tim. He had 5/10. This is Tim. I'll do T over here for Tim. And then Sienna had 5/100. Okay. What you could think of too, you can continue on with zeros later on. Like I could put a 0 here, and you could see that this, if I changed the tenths to hundredths, 5/10 is the same as 50/100ths, right? So you can continue on and do zeros after. But if you did that, you could see 50 is a lot bigger than 5, right? So if you want to add a place for a 0, you can to help you. But you could also just think about bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece, and try to picture a model or draw a model for yourself if you need to. Let's do one more. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these two numbers, 1 3/10 and 6/10. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a model. So over here, I'm going to do this one here is going to be 1. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do hundredths. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. The reason I shouldn't have had hundredths is because we're not talking hundredths up here, right? We have 1 3/10, that's in our tenths place, and 6/10. Okay, so this model here is going to be for the 1 3/10, and this model here is going to be for the 6/10. Okay, so this is in the ones place, 1 whole. So I'm going to shade in this entire thing. 1 whole and 1, 2, 3 more. Okay. And for my 6/10, I'm going to shade 6/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have any holes, so I am not shading in an entire thing. So we can figure out right here which one is greater. Exactly. 1 3/10 is greater than 6/10. So we can use a model, or if you wanted to take a look with the place value chart, for 1 3/10, we have 1 whole, so that would be in our ones place. We have our decimal point and 3/10. Then for our next number, 6/10, we did not have anything in the ones place. We had a 6 in the tenths place. Now, yes, you can see, like, if you compare just the tenths, you see that 3 is smaller than 6, but you're not just comparing those two digits. You're comparing the whole number. So 1 whole and 3/10 is greater than just 6/10. Hope this helps. Have a great day. Make sure you follow along and you write down these problems in your notebook. And I will see you guys at the meet. Have a good day.